What's going on, guys? Jason Wojo here. I was just on the Root of All Success podcast with the Real Jason Duncan. I'm excited for you guys to tune into this episode where we're going to talk about entrepreneurship, my journey, ads, and the biggest piece of my success. Make sure you guys tune in and like, comment, and subscribe.
Welcome to the Root of All Success with the Real Jason Duncan. A podcast that explores how the world's most powerful entrepreneurs unlocked success and how their stories can help you do the same. A successful educator turned entrepreneur, Jason has built multi-million-dollar businesses that have been featured in Inc. magazine and Entrepreneur magazine. His life's mission now is helping entrepreneurs live what he calls #the exit lifestyle. Introducing TEDx speaker, mastermind leader, author, entrepreneur, cigar aficionado, motorcycle enthusiast, and host of the Root of All Success, the Real Jason Duncan. The Real Jason Duncan.
Welcome back to another episode. We are in person at Smokers Abbey in Gallatin, Tennessee, about 30 minutes north of downtown Nashville. One of my good friends, Joshua Stump, is the proprietor of this place. So big thanks to Joshua and all the team at Smokers Abbey for letting us host here. It's a cool place, and I got a cool guest for you today. His name is Jason Wojo. He is a self-made multimillionaire with a net worth of $4 million at age 26, and he's doing it all through teaching people like you and me as business owners how to run paid ads the best way. And he's got 4 specific things that he teaches you how to do that you got to pay attention to in your business. And we're going to dig into those a little bit. But really, I'm interested in how this guy sitting across from me built such a high net worth for such a young guy and how he got into that. So we're going to be talking about that today. We're going to be talking about how he became successful and what he thinks his keys are to success. And there's going to be opportunities for you to connect with him. But let me tell you a little bit more about this guy. He's got a lot of accolades. He's been in, he was at 30 Under 30 in New York Weekly magazine. He was in Forbes New York, entrepreneur.com. LA Weekly is a top 20 entrepreneur to watch in 2023. He's been on Yahoo Finance as a top 20 Instagram account to follow in 2023. You can follow him at The Jason Wojo on Instagram. And speaking of The Jason Wojo, let's say hello to our guest, Jason. And it's another Jason. So Jason, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate you having me.
Well, welcome to Gallatin, Tennessee. You probably never thought you'd ever be here before,
Yeah,
huh?
I never thought I'd step foot here. But dude, like, it's, small town vibes. It's good. So.
Yeah, except for the getting stuck behind the train, right?
Dude, that was the longest train I've ever seen in my life. Me and the Uber driver were sitting there for like a good 10 minutes, and she was like, is this thing ever going to end? And then she started actually getting mad about it because she was like, oh, like Uber's not going to compensate me. I'm like, then don't drive Uber then.
Well, that train has made me late to lots of meetings because if you're on that side in the train or either side, you're trying to get over here. I've met people here at the shop here before to have a cigar, and I'm ended up 10 minutes late because of a train. There's no way around it either, man, because the only bridge is, there's a bridge over it, but it's a pretty good long distance away. But, well, welcome to Nashville. So you and I got connected somehow through your booking agency or something, reaching out and about being on the show, and you had me as a guest on your show recently. Yeah. We had a great conversation. But I need to know, man, like, first of all, how old are you now?
26.
So you're 26. Yeah. So the bio I read was like current.
Yeah. So I'm 20. I'm about to be 27 soon in July.
All right. And
so I'm excited.
And so 26 years old, you built a multi-million-dollar net worth. How did you get started in pursuing this type of lifestyle?
Yeah, so this goes all the way back to like high school, culinary school. So many things happen. So
you say culinary school?
Yeah,
like
dude,
you're
there's
a
a
cook.
lot. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to cook anything now, but when I was in high school, I was working at a cafe locally, and I was doing like breakfast food, lunch food, $5 an hour, under the table stuff. And while I was working there, I was about to be a senior in high school, heading into college, and I had no idea what I wanted to do in my life. I had no clue. I just played Xbox all day. That's all I did. And I was just like, all right, like, maybe I should just go to culinary school because I work in a restaurant. So I asked my boss was like, hey, you might as well. I'll write you an endorsement letter, like, you might as well. So I went to upstate New York. It's called SUNY Delhi. It wasn't a bad school. I went to culinary school.
Are you from Florida?
No, I'm originally from New York.
Oh, so you were in New York. That's why you went to upstate. Okay.
Yeah. So I go to culinary school, SUNY Delhi. First semester, dude, I didn't do anything. I was so like just tired of going to 6-hour labs and being told what to do. And this is where I really started to see like my rebellious behavior, where I was like, I just can't be told what to do. I hate it. So then I'm headed to my second semester, and it was really snowy because second semester it's around December, just January, February. It starts to snow a lot upstate. So as it's doing so, I had to always get my car out of the snow. I had a Ford Focus at the time, so like the thing, dude, in the snow, that thing can't do anything. So I'm shoveling one day, and like I saw this box in the back of my trunk, and it was Pokemon cards. And I was like, oh, like, this is cool. So I take them out, I go back upstairs, and I lived off campus. Big reason why I lived off campus was because I just like didn't like how the dorm rooms were really like noisy. Dude, it's a funny thing I bring this up, but like the only reason why I did live off campus too was because I wanted to be more social, and I had to live with other people. I could get a dorm room of my own, but I was like, nah, I'll live in like one of those condos down the hill, and I'll just like live with 5 people, and I'll be forced to socialize. So that's why I did it, because I was like a really shy, introverted kid. So I was like, all right, let me get out of my shell. I'll just like communicate and just be better socially. So then I'm flipping these Pokemon cards on eBay when I took them upstairs, and I started seeing like they were like $8, $9, $10, and I'm like, dude, like I could make money with this, because like my parents weren't loaded at all. My dad gave me $80 a month for college, like to live off of, which like, bro, that doesn't do anything. That's like one trip to the grocery store, and I'm getting like fast food, like junk food stuff, just to be able to get the amount below $80. So I'm doing that, and I'm going to the post office like every couple days because I was selling the cards on eBay, and I would make like $40 every 2 days. Like it was actually, for me, it was exciting because it was more than what my dad was giving me. So I was like, all right, I'm learning like postage, like stamps, going to the post office, all this like corny stuff. So I do it, and then in my second month in the second semester, dude, I had F's and D's. I wasn't doing anything because I wasn't going to class. I was too busy playing like Nintendo Wii, Pokemon, and flipping the cards, and I was just bored. I was partying, I was drinking a ton, and I just like had no idea what I want to do still. So I'm just making money with the eBay stuff, and I call my parents up, and I'm like, hey, like, I flunked. Like, you're going to get my report card. You're going to be pissed. Like, let me just get it off my chest now. So my dad wasn't happy because, like, I took out a loan for the school. It was like $8,000. It wasn't that expensive to go there for the year.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know how much culinary school costs.
Yeah, dude, I had a scholarship because of tennis, and I didn't even wind up playing. Like,
so culinary school had a tennis team?
Yeah. And I played tennis in high school. I was really good at tennis and basketball too, but I never got to play basketball D1. So I was like, all right, I'll go to culinary school. And it was also, it was like a mix though. It wasn't only culinary, it was trade, and then like nursing was in it. It wasn't a full culinary school. So yeah, and then, I basically wound up going home because I was good with the Pokemon card stuff. So I decided to just go home and do business school. I'm like, hey, I'm good with money and transacting. Like, yeah, it's small scale, but like I'll go into business because I need to be able to do something for myself because I can't listen to anybody. Like, I got 2 referrals in college for cursing out a teacher. I got expelled, like, almost for so many things, dude. I was just rebellious. And then also, like, there were rules on campus about, like, you can't be at the lunchroom or whatever at certain times. Dude, I would just hop the fence and take food out of the cafeteria. Like, I was very, like, the rules didn't matter. So yeah, I was doing that. And then, dude, like, also, I would go to class, and I would have, like, one of those canteens. Like, I would have beer while I was in class. Like, I was just bullshit, dude. It was so bad. And I moved back to New York. I'm in business school, and I was living at home, so I couldn't do that stuff. My dad would whoop me. So I was like, all right, like, I can't do those rebellious things anymore. And what's crazy, dude, is that when you're in, like, that introverted standpoint and you get one sense of freedom, that's why people are so wild in college. Because if their parents, like, hold them in their home and they don't let them go out or do anything, as soon as they get that 1 ounce of freedom, dude, they go ballistic. Like, I never drank. And then I went to college, and I was doing keg stands, jumping off house parties, roofs, into pools, and I don't even know how to swim. Like, I literally was doing the stupidest things. So,
so you got a different plan when you have kids.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And I'm in business school.
Now,
And
where'd
then
you go to business school?
Mount St. Mary.
Okay, so
Yeah,
were
and
your
that was in New
parents?
York, too.
Was that a loan? You took a loan to do that, or
That I got tennis money from. Yeah.
So you were able to still keep the tennis scholarship.
Yeah, dude, I was filthy at tennis. Yeah, that was
Really?
the one thing I was good at. I was like, all right, like I could play tennis, and yeah, dude, I don't remember what my record was, but I think I was like 36-3. It's not bad, tennis wise. I think that's okay. But like, I was good at like singles, doubles. I was okay, but like to be honest, I didn't like doubles. And this is what I had to learn as a business owner: is that it's about having a team. But like, dude, I would be so frustrated playing doubles because anytime my partner would mess up, I was like, bro, I would have hit that better. Like, I was bad at that piece in my life. I didn't, like, trust people that much.
Yeah.
So I liked just doing the solo thing. So, yeah, I'm in business school, and then I had to get 3 jobs because I sold out all my Pokemon cards, and I was like, what else do I do? So
Where'd
then
you get the Pokemon cards? Were those just collected over your teenage years?
Yeah, dude, those were just from all the years, like from age 5 all the way up to 18. I just kept them in this box. And dude, I made like $4,000 from all those. I sold all of them. I got $4,000 back, and I had a little bit of money in my bank account. I had to pay, money for the shipping and whatnot. I think I profited like $1,000, $1,200. Not terrible. I mean, it's all right. So I had to go get jobs because I needed to make money. So I worked at Staples on the weekends. And then life insurance. I was an assistant at a life insurance company, and then I worked at a financial firm doing like website redesign. And the reason why I did that website redesign job was because while I was online, I would sit at this office job as the assistant at New York Life. I was so bored, dude. He gave me nothing to do. I just sat there for 6 hours a day. And like, I was just on YouTube all day, and I saw Ty Lopez's ad. And then he had the SMA course for $9.97. And I bought that, and I started diving into that and seeing how to make money through a social media marketing agency. I was like, oh, like this guy's saying I can make $10K a month. Okay, sick, I'll do it. So I buy it, I'm going through it, and then I started pitching local businesses. I started going to restaurants and barbershops and all these things and pitching like $200 a month services. Like, it was so cheap back then. It's funny because, dude, 2 weeks ago we were at our Tampa event, and this guy booked a call with us the day after the event. And it was actually one of my clients 5 years ago that paid $175 a month per month for social media management, and he sent me the invoice, and I have it from those many years ago. I was like, damn. Dude, it's crazy.
So let me back up, though. Ty Lopez.
Uh-huh.
So you saw one of his things.
Dude, he was a genius back then.
And
so good.
Well, I don't know anything about him other than what I've heard about him. And I haven't heard anything good. So.
Oh, dude.
And now you're telling me that this has kind of kick-started you.
So here's the thing. And this is with everything online. Is like, dude, like, people will say things about Ty because of the things that he sells or the courses. And like there's even people who say stuff about me. You want to know why? It's because they're just too lazy and don't have the audacity to do anything that they get if they buy something. So, like, if they bought something from Ty and they're like, oh, I paid $1,000, it didn't work, it's not that the course didn't work because I'm living proof. You just didn't work. And then they go online and talk shit about them. Like, there's people who buy low-ticket products for me, $27. I sell, like, a low-ticket starter kit. It's $27. You can go and start your own low-ticket funnel. I literally tell you what kind of digital products work really well. I give you copy and paste landing page. I give you all these things. People made YouTube videos calling me a scam about it. But then I have a whole Facebook group of 600 people in a Facebook group, and literally people are posting screenshots every day in that Facebook group of sales that they're getting. So it's like, to each their own, but it's the fact that people don't use it, like, or they get a little bit of friction and they quit. And then they're like, oh, it was too hard, scam. And it's like, no, you're just stupid and lazy. So
Ty was good for you.
Dude, Ty was good because if you listen to what he says, like, it makes so much sense. Like, regardless of where the economy goes. Dude, when COVID happened and all those businesses shut down, dude, we went from $600,000 a year to like $3 million a year. It went so quick because every business owner online had to run traffic. They needed ads. And like, it's recession proof. Like, regardless of what happens to the economy, no business is going to sit there and be like, yeah, we don't need leads anymore. Like, we're like, no, that's underpriced attention when there's a recession and you need an agency to run your ads. So, also, on a market high, you need to have a marketing team to outbeat competition and outbeat ad costs. So regardless of where the economy is, I'm never going to get kicked. And when he started saying this, I was like, dude, like that makes so much sense. He's like, dude, business owners don't want to do all the tech stuff and all the buttons and all the creatives and all that stuff. Like, just do it for them. And I'm like, bro, that makes so much sense because local brick and mortars, they're too busy doing shit at the store. They're too busy cutting hair. They're too busy doing X. They don't have time to go on social and set up an ad in a funnel. So when he started talking about those things, I was like, dude, it's so legit. And one of his biggest things was, dude, go to local businesses and do 7-day trials. And I was like, that makes sense. But then some people were like, oh, well, of course they're going to say yes. It's a 7-day trial. And I'm like, bro, that's not the point. The point is that you're getting your foot in the door. It's just like, dude, the mindset shift that people have is crazy.
Have you met Ty yet?
No. But I would love to, dude. He's a marketing genius, regardless if you hate him or love him. The way that he meticulates messaging and offers and copy and all that, dude, it's just disgustingly good.
Yeah.
And the whole, like, here my garage ad, people know that ad for years to come. That is hands down the best, internet ad of all time. It ran the longest. And back then, Google PPC was 2 cents a click, 1 cent a click. He got in during the beta group. So, like, yeah, we can attribute his success to having, like, really cheap ad costs and getting in front of people. But, like, bro, his curiosity is nuts. He knows how to talk to people.
Yeah.
And he knows how to piss people off. Like, dude, pissing people off is actually interesting to talk about, but, like, it's actually, like, necessary. I know that's a completely skewed way to run a business, but, like when this video came out last year, I made a video, I don't know if you saw it, but it was about the gym. And I was, like, talking shit about the gym, and I pissed off a ton of people. And, dude, our revenue went through the fucking roof. Like, we pissed so many people off. I got 800 million views in a matter of 2 months. And we went from, like, maybe, $300K a month to 800 grand a month within 60 days. Because I pissed off the internet. And now I started getting all these views.
So what did you say? I didn't see the video. What did you say?
I basically just said, like, hey, like, the gym's pointless. Like, if you're broke, no one cares. Like, why? Like, you'll spend 2 hours in the gym every day, but you won't spend 2 hours on yourself. I think going to the gym is stupid. There's no reason to go to the gym. I don't go to the fucking gym. I don't care. And I do very well. Because I just don't feel validated by looking at myself in the mirror. And that's, like, when you were saying before about the question of, like, okay, like, what does success mean to you? Dude, do people look at you like a leader? Do people look up to you and ask you the right questions? Like, dude, people don't come up to you because you have muscles. Like, I have a team of 52. When I walk in the room, everybody knows to shut up. I own the room. It doesn't matter if I don't have a certain body type or a body figure. Like, they know that they have to have a certain level of respect and ambiance when they're around me because I own the room. You don't own the room with muscles and being fit. You own the room with being a leader. And, like, I stress that so much because the other side of the coin is the women's side, which is, like, if you're a guy and you're trying to build income and you're trying to build skill sets and you're trying to get to the next level, if you need to look better to feel more focused and confident, it's an internal issue. Like, if you're working on your own skills, you're building your sword. Your sword is this intellectual property that you own. It's the skill sets that you endure. It's not in the way that you look. And, like, women are going to agree. Like, dude, there's women who agree that, oh, yeah, guys who are fit, so much more appealing. Yeah, for sexual reasons. But not for path and purpose and family. Like, are you going to take a guy who goes to the gym and makes $5 grand a month, or a guy who doesn't go to the gym that makes 20 grand a month? I'm telling you right now, women will pick the 20 grand a month guy. There's just no shot.
Yeah.
And I made that point, and dude, the internet went ballistic. Joey Swole, Penguin Z, Bryce Hall, all these guys made videos, and it went viral on Reddit. But dude, like, the things that I was saying in the video are so legitimate, and it's the same thing with Ty. Like, Ty will piss people off, but it's because they know the right answer. Like, when Ty goes on camera and says, hey, like, making 10K a month is not hard. Like, you don't have the right information. People and then will say, oh, well, you're not giving us the information. You're a scam. I'm like, no, actually, if you bought the thing and you did it, you could get there.
So you went on this Ty Lopez. You bought his course for $1,000.
Yeah.
And you dug in. You started doing what he taught.
Yeah, got about 7 to 10 clients.
So you got 7 to 10 clients paying a couple $100 a month each, right? So you're not killing it, but you're doing better than Pokemon cards.
It was great.
So at what point did you go, okay, business school, no, I'm going to do this thing on my own?
Let's take a quick break to thank our amazing sponsors for making this podcast possible.
As an entrepreneur, I know that you have to deal with sales on a regular basis. I mean, every entrepreneur does. And if you aren't paying attention to sales as an entrepreneur, you're not going to be an entrepreneur for very long. But I've got a sponsor of this show called Dub that helps you bring the personal back to sales. If you want to figure out how to improve content creation, improve client trust, improve your sales process, decrease the sales cycle, because we all know time kills deals. If you want to increase client bookings and increase conversions, you need to take a look at Dub. There's a special offer for Dub for listeners to The Root of All Success at therealjasonduncan.com/Dub, and that's DUBB. What Dub does, I've been using this for years. I'm a huge fan, and I'm so honored that they're our primary sponsor of the podcast. But they have helped over 60,000 businesses around the world communicate better, to make sales easier, to make sales more personal. And Dub is built for growing teams. I mean, you can set up video emails, you can set up custom onboarding, you can do admin reporting, anything you need around video and sales and automation. Dub is there. You can try Dub now. Your conversions to sales are waiting. All you got to do is go to therealjasonduncan.com/Dub. And there you're going to get 2 weeks for free to try Dub. Plus, you're going to get 50% off your first 2 months of Dub. You can't beat that. So go check it out. Go to therealjasonduncan.com/Dub.
Thanks for listening to our sponsors. Now, back to the show.
So this brings me to the second thing, which is I stayed in school because I was playing tennis. I was actually like staying decently active. I wasn't going to the gym, but I was active. And also like there was one thing that I didn't harness that I thought was really important, because Ty was saying this inside of the program. He's like, dude, if you want to make more money and you want to be good at sales, you have to be good with women. And I was like, shit, is he right? So I stayed in college for that reason. I was like, let me just network with more women and try to be better with banter and conversation. And that was the only reason why I stayed. And then after that, I took all the skills and I was like, all right, like I'm making $3,000 a month at the time because I had the 3 jobs. And then I had about 10 clients paying $200 a month. Yeah, I was making about $3,000 a month. So I took the money, I was saving it for the last year, and I took the money and I decided to move because my dad was like, yo, are you going to pay us rent? And I was like, no, I'm not paying you. You're my mom and dad. Why would I pay you guys rent? And I was so naive at the time, dude. I was stupid. And they were like, yeah, like if you want to live here, like you're 18, you're about to be an adult. Like you got to man up. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, it's true. I'm about to be 18. So I was like, dude, like I don't want to pay $600 a month. That's what he wanted. And I was like, I'll just go live in Orlando for $750. And I found places on Facebook Marketplace, and not like a whole house for $750. That's very misleading. So I lived in like this room in the corner of a college house. It was just a room.
You got a closet down there.
Yeah. And it was a shared bathroom, you know. And the people are still my friends to this very day. They're an awesome group. I lived there for 2 years, and then after that, during those 2 years, dude, that's when I really dove into just my business. Like we grew really rapidly because I was like, hey, I only have this thing to do now. There's no other distractions. There's no jobs. I had maybe like $7,000 in the bank, and I was just using that money to pay rent and pay for food and pay for my expenses and like, you know, really get the business off the ground. And from there, dude, I was just grinding, dude, just cold outreach. I was not running ads. I didn't have money at the time. And then I was doing a lot of networking events. I went to a lot of events as well, like those events that were $97 and $197. I would get tickets for those. And that was expensive to me at the time. Like getting the flight and the hotel, dude, I would cheap out. It was so bad.
So how old are you at this time?
I think I was around 20.
20.
Yeah, 20.
And so is that when Wojo Media started?
Yeah, that's when I incorporated it and I made the website and everything, and then yeah.
Okay, so 6 years ago.
Yeah, 6.
So you started. You're living with the other dudes in this apartment house or whatever you've got, and you're paying $750 for rent, and you're running your business, saving money, stocking it away. When did it become a reality to you, like, this is actually going to work?
It was with the one client. Crazy story. This girl, Jen Beeston, she's a huge mortgage lender. She's the #1 female lender, actually, in the entire country. And I can't go into much because I still work with like their company because I'm on an NDA. But basically, I was on Instagram, and this guy Jason Grananim, another Jason, messages me, and he's like, "Dude, I love your content. Like, you're making a lot of cool marketing posts. I want you to come on my Zoom call Tuesday night or Wednesday. I forgot what day it was, where I have a bunch of mortgage lenders. They're all females, and they all talk shit about the market and drink wine." And I was like, "What the hell is this guy talking about?" He's like, "Dude, like, I want you to talk about SEO and ads." And I was like, "All right, dude, sick. Like, I'll come on." So I joined this live Zoom, and like they're still talking shit about the market, and then they bring me up, and I have like these slides, and I'm just like this really like innocent kid. I'm just like, "Hey guys," like, so I'm going through my presentation, I'm showing them stuff, and at the end I'm like, "Hey, just follow me if you want to, get more info." Like, I didn't even know how to pitch at the time. I was like, should I pitch him? I'm probably not gonna pitch. I was so scared. I had a huge money block, and this girl in the chat, she had no camera on. Her name was Jen. And she puts in the chat thing, she's like, "You are so adorable. Call me tomorrow. I'll pay you." And I was like, interesting. At first, I thought I was getting on. I was like, no, that's not
Adorable is not it.
Yeah. I was so naive.
That's a cougar,
dude.
maybe.
Yeah. And I was like, all right, like, I'll call you in the morning. So I call her. She was too busy at 9 a.m. We decided to call at 9 a.m. She was too busy. And then she's like, "Oh, I'll call you in 30 minutes. I tried to call in 30 minutes. Dude, I was so persistent. So, like, dude, like, I mean, she's a mortgage lender. I thought mortgage lenders were, like, rich. When most of them aren't, by the way, but like she just was. I didn't know anything about her. I didn't search anything about her, which is a bad mistake. You should always research any prospects. I didn't know anything about her. I get her to the phone finally. She's like, "All right, like, we have a website. We do YouTube videos. Like, what can you do?" And I was like, "All right, we'll do SEO on your YouTube titles. We'll do blog posts. I'll run ads. I'll make you a funnel." She's like, "I have a free PDF. We can run ads." And I'm like, "Perfect. Then we'll take them to a calendar where they can book a call." She's like, "Awesome." And she's like, "How much?" And I was like, "That's a lot, Jen." She's like, "Yeah, I know. Like, I'm not expecting it to be cheap." So I was like, "All right, like, we'll do $1,000 a month." She's like, "That's it?" And I was like, "Fuck."
Wrong number, man.
I was like, "Damn."
10 grand a month.
Dude. This is where shit got ballistic. She's like, "Yeah, so I'm going to go feed my dog. I'll be back in like a couple minutes, and you got to give me a better price." I was like, "Better fucking price? What does that mean?" So then I'm thinking about it. I'm like, dude, like, this is where my money block completely broke. Like, this was the day where I was like, holy shit, like, there's actually money in the world. I come back and I'm like, okay, let's do $3,000 a month. She's like, all right, let's just do this. I need you to do twice as many blog posts. Can you edit videos? I was like, yeah. She's like, all right, edit the videos for YouTube, do the thumbnails, run the ads, and we're going to start posting on TikTok. I'll give you $7 grand a month. And I was like, what the fuck did you just say? Dude, I was so confused. I had no idea what that felt like. And like, I said back to her, it was like $7,000 a month. She's like, yeah, like, that's fair. And I was just so stunned, dude. And like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm sitting there at my desk and I just started like shaking. Like, it's like a weird feeling. I was like, yo, what is going on? And she's like, okay, I have my card. Like, are you gonna take my card? And I was like, dude, I was so stupid. I was like, business card? We're on the phone. She's like, no, I have American Express. Are you ready? And I was like, holy shit, she's ready to pay. So I'm like going through the applications on Stripe and I'm trying to figure this shit out. And dude, like, I took her card and $7 grand, the check mark came, and I was like, what the hell just happened? And then she's like, okay, like, send me an email with everything you need and I'll talk to you later. Bye. She just hung up the phone. And I'm like, dude, people legit will spend $7 grand in 15 minutes. What is going on with my life? And that's what took me to 10K a month. So that was like literally, it was $10,100. I still have the screenshot on Stripe. And
so at 20-ish years old, you're making 100 grand a year in your own business.
Oh, dude, I started bugging out though. That's the bad part about it, is that I made that money for like 6 months, and then I started getting like really like I started making more because she gave me 2 referrals, and then I got to like 30K a month. Dude, I started buying dumb shit. I got to 30 grand a month. I bought a Maserati. I got an iced out Rolex. I bought so many stupid things, dude. And I had to tone myself down.
Well, it's pent up demand. Going back to your parents not letting you do whatever they didn't let you do, you get 1 ounce of freedom, this openness, and you go ballistic on that. Well, the same thing happens with money, doesn't it? If you go from nothing, scarcity, bad money story, money doesn't exist, or I don't have enough, to all of a sudden having it, that's when you buy the dumb stuff.
And it's the things that everybody tells me.
Don't do it.
No, well, not just that, but like my friends will all say to me, oh, well, Wojo, I won't be that stupid when I make money. I'm like, bro, don't even start because I know how this
Works.
game. My CEO said the same thing. He's like, yeah, dude, like, you're paying me well, but like, I'm gonna be worth X amount of money. I'm not gonna make the same choices you made. I'm not gonna buy the same things. He's 2 months in. He's already talking about buying a tag watch and a new Audi. Like, dude, I'm telling you, the game is so like, the money just wraps up in your head and it makes you feel invincible. And I said, I'm like, dude, you're gonna buy dumb shit. Like, stop. Like, he's like, no, dude, I'm not like that. Like, I come from a different family. I'm like, bro, it doesn't matter. Just wait till you get this pay for 3 months. You're gonna buy something stupid. And now he's already trying to buy dumb shit. And I'm like, bro, I knew this shit was gonna happen. And he's laughing about it.
So
now.
do you still have the Maserati?
No.
No.
That was a white. It was a white Ghibli. Dude, like, I missed that car. I really do.
They're fun to drive, man.
Dude, yeah.
I like fast cars. I
Yeah.
love it. Well, what about so you're making 10 grand, then it bumps up to 30 grand. You're doing really well. When so Jen, you said Jen's her name. So Jen is your person. Jen is the person for you that was the jumping off point to make this a real business. But now you have 52 people on your team. You have a significant net worth for somebody your age. You built it with Wojo Media. So what is your specialty now? What do you do? Because right then when Jen said, listen, I need you to come take the trash out once a week too, you probably would have done that. You'd have done whatever she needed you to do. But today you're more discerning. Like, this is what we do. So what is it that you do?
So recently, I don't do much with the agency side because Casey runs that. So I had him live with me for like 8 months and I replaced myself as CEO. So he just runs that. And then on the other side, I run Scale Your Ads and I work a lot of private clients. So like our specialty in Wojo Media is taking business owners that either want to solidify their proof of concept, want to get predictable paid traffic off the ground, want to run low ticket offers, they want to run webinar funnels. Like we do a lot. So like it's mostly coaches, consultants, service providers, and e-com stores. They want to take their paid traffic, they want to understand their KPIs, they want to be able to scale predictably. So, is that more ad platforms? What creatives on those platforms? How are we sharing the data? How are we checking the data? How are we getting more out of every single subscriber? Email marketing, SMS, like it's a full scope marketing stack service. We don't just work with one niche because all the things that I learned over the years, I put into SOPs for them to be able to service all these different business owners. So that was cool. And then on my side is SYA, which is the event. And that's where we're running
What's
one.
that? What'd you say?
Scale Your Ads,
Okay.
SYA. Yeah, I just call it. Sorry, I said it shorthand.
Sorry.
So Scale Your Ads, we run one event a week for the next 22 weeks, and we're going to different cities, and we're just educating business owners on ads and offers and landing pages and KPIs and sales and customer journey, all these things, increasing lifetime value, ascension, product knowledge, all these things. And we get about 100 to 150 business owners in a room, give or take the city, and we give them value for 2 days, and we pitch them on our services. And dude, it's been killer. Like, it's been awesome. It brought a lot more culture to the company because I bolted it onto Wojo Media. So I run Scale Your Ads. All the clients who pay for those events or pay from them, we just send them to Wojo Media. So I don't have to do any fulfillment. I just go there, talk, sell, because I'm good at selling in person, and then they go into Wojo Media. Now, the other thing is, I said before, I talk about private clients. I do a lot of, like, not consulting, but done for you, like, high value, low ticket funnels and webinar funnels and sales teams and all that. So basically, right now I have 11 private clients. I would probably say that out of, if we were to take the best, like the biggest 20 people on the internet, I work with 11 of them. Like, they're huge names. A couple of them are like Chris Crone, Ryan Pineda. Some I can't say because of NDA reasons, but like, dude, they're huge names. And I do all their low ticket funnels, all their webinar funnels. Like, that's the stuff that is more of like a passion project for me. Plus, it's a networking angle. So like this, like podcasts and, just like, dude, being in bigger rooms, and those things are way more intrinsically more valuable than running more ads, in my opinion. Because the numbers don't lie. Like, I would probably say the last 3 months, dude, we've tripled Instagram profile visits, completely tripled it. All my socials have grown a ton. Like, all the private clients that work with me, they're paying 10, 20 grand a month, and I have 11 of them, And like, dude, I had 3 of them 3 months ago. And I have more people now who are like, yo, dude, like, I want you to run my stuff. And I'm just doing that because Casey freed up the time for me to do that. Because, dude, I was in that business all day. Like, bro, it suckered me in. It sucked me in, and it took all my time. And I was like, dude, I need you to take this shit away. Like,
how'd you find Casey?
That's an interesting story. So, about 2 years ago, I was running ads for a guy, Stephen Comer, and he was running an agency too. We both know of each other. I still work with him right now. And Stephen was trying to get more clients in his agency. And Casey knew who I was. He came to a couple of my free events back then too. And I used to have these free events at our house in Tampa when we first moved to Carrollwood area. It's like a very small net area in Tampa. It's nothing extravagant. So we're living there, and I used to have these free events in the living room at the bottom of my house. And like, dude, I have 20 people in there because I couldn't fit 100 people. Jesus. So I had 20 people in there. Like, Casey would come to them, and he just knew of me, so he referred me over to Steven. We start running the ads, and we got, I don't know, man, I forgot the numbers, but like, there was a really cool piece behind this, was that he was running the ads, and we made him like 40 grand in 2 months or whatever, which is not bad. I mean, back then I wasn't as good as I am now. So it was good results though, because they were getting these clients on 3 months. So technically it was like 120 grand. So I'm running the ads, and their ad account got disabled. And I was like, hey, Steven, like, I know somebody who can get it back for $4,000. Like, we'll just pay him, because I have a connect who gets like Facebook ad accounts unbanned. And I was like, hey man, like, just go do that, and then we'll keep running. He's like, nah, I don't want to do that. And I was like, why do you not want to do that? You just made that much money. Why are we not? We need the ads up and running. Like, I will do whatever the fuck it takes to get my ads up and running. And Casey saw that, and he was like, yo, dude, I don't want to work there anymore. Like, I want to work with you because you take action on shit stupid fast. And I was like, okay. So then I brought him in as ops. So he was doing systems and like getting accustomed to the business and doing all these automations and the process and the SOPs and all these things for each department. And dude, like, he just saw me grow so rapidly over those 2 years. Like, all the other people in the ad space, like, I just completely jumped them because the decisions that we make were so fast. Like, every single day, man, we make at least 2 to 3 decisions every single day. And it's like, most people take a whole week to make a decision. And I'm like, dude, we're just going to get a lot further if we just keep pushing and keep pushing.
There's power in decision making.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, all right, dude, like, you could do ops. He's like, at the time, I'm not going to get into specifics because I want to appreciate his privacy, but like, he was dealing with something with a family member, and he was having money issues. I was like, dude, just come live with me. You don't have to pay any rent. And that's when I moved to St. Pete. So I was living in St. Pete. I still live there now. I'm in the same house. And I was like, dude, just come live with me. Like, I'll take care of you. Just like rent free, whatever. Just do good. So he's there. He's working. And then he starts like getting really excited because we started growing. And I was like, sick, dude. Like, this is cool. Like, we're doing a great job. He's like, yeah, dude, I want to do CEO now. I'm like, all right, we're like, you got to come up for that.
He said, I'm ready to go.
I was like, bro, that's a hard fucking job. So I was like, all right, dude, like, we'll transition into it. You know, let's do 4 to 5 months where we get you into that, like, programming. So that's what he started learning when he lived with me. He's like, dude, I just want to see how you operate, see how you work, see how you look at certain situations, client this, client that. Like, what would you do in this situation, right? So we did that, and then January 1st of this year, he completely became full-time CEO. And that's really how it happened. Like, I think, too, like, some people are better as being an actual entrepreneur within someone else's business. What do we call it?
Okay. Yeah.
So, like, he was just better at being an entrepreneur. And he always tried to get businesses off the ground, but it was harder because he didn't have a lot of money. So it's like, he just looked at me as this bolt-on. He's like, yo, dude, like, you make decisions, you'll spend money. Like, I want to bolt on to that. Yeah. And, dude, like, he's good at things that I'm not good at. Like, he's good with people. To be honest, I'm not really the best. Like, I'm not the best at talking to people in a business sense. Just to give you context, like, for example, dude, the thing that has drained me over the last 5-6 years is just, like, people being too needy. And it makes me, like, just push myself away from people. And I'm just like, Casey's good with that. Go. Casey's more patient. I'm the marketing nerd. Like, if you give me a funnel, an offer, and a sales team, dude, I'll make you as much money as you want. But if you give me people and problems and emotions, I'm fucking out. Like, I just can't.
I know what you mean, man.
So, dude, it's just like,
Well, let's do this. Let's break it down. So take my business for example, and I know you know a little bit about me because you looked me up, and that's how we got together. But if you said, "Hey, Jason, I'm going to work with you, and I'm going to take your Exeter Club mastermind, the coaching that you offer, and I'm going to blow it up," what would you do first? Let's do a mock. Like, what would you do first?
You have to look at your unique mechanism.
Okay.
So like, what makes? Because at a brand, like at a broad scope, it's mostly just systems that you're doing. And you're doing hiring as well, or no? Do you like hire people for other businesses? No? Okay. Are you just doing SOPs?
So I help.
Exactly.
So I've created a system called XOS, Exeter Operating System.
Yeah.
And there's 7 stages that I teach all my clients to go through 7 stages. Stage 1 is basic delegation, and stage 7 is the exit.
Yeah,
so I get you prepared for that exit.
If you're helping the CEO exit, you have to bring a claim to the result. So like, okay, if you're a CEO and you want to exit and replace yourself, here's what I'll do for you. Over the next 12 weeks, I'll do X and Y and Z. And if you don't exit, then I will pay your CEO's first month's salary, or something sexy as like a guarantee. Like something like that. I know that might be pretty bold, but there's like the ways that you could word it to make it sexy. So you also got to think about what place they're in. So like the place I was in was that revenue can't grow because I'm bottlenecked. I'm doing all the shit that I don't want to do just to keep the doors open.
That's what I teach people to stop doing.
Yeah. So like that was my biggest pain point, was like, okay, if you're a CEO and you feel like you're just doing all the shit just to keep to keep the lights on and pay everybody and not pay yourself as much, then like, you know, here's what you need to do. And then you have to give them a proper timeline. So like, how many weeks is it going to take them to replace themselves? What exactly are you doing for them? Because they're the CEO, they don't want to do shit. So they want you to take everything off their plate because they can't add anything else on. Like if you said to me like, hey, yeah, we'll do it with you. Yeah, bro, I'm out. No shot. Because I'm already bottlenecked. Now I'm going to be even more exhausted, which means that I intrinsically think that because I'm exhausted, my revenue is going to decline even more just to pay for what you sold me. So then it's like, it's got to be completely done for you. It's got to be like a decent time span that's believable, but people like. So like, what do people think replacing a CEO takes? 90 days, 120 days, maybe not.
Well, when you're looking at a business that is run by the founder of the company, it's going to take him 12 to 18 months to extricate himself from that business, depending on where he starts from. Because his mind, like you said earlier, mindset has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
So if he's not ready, it's going to take a little longer. But if he's ready, he's mentally prepared for it, then it's going to take a little less time.
Yeah.
But this exit, the thing I teach is exit without exiting. Like, how do you get out of the weeds? Like what you've done with Casey. You got out of the weeds of Wojo Media to go do something else that builds an asset for your business.
Yeah, I feel like that's the most important thing for business owners, is that not every business can be scaled really quickly. Correct. Like there's businesses that have these plateaus or breakpoints in the business, and you need to go add other bolt-ons. So like, how do we provide more value to clients and increase lifetime value without having to just like keep putting gas on the fire? Why don't we just put less gas on other fires around here and just feed it? And that's when I was like, okay, events. And then the next thing's going to be software. And then the next thing after that's going to be something else, or like an affiliate or something like that. And it's like, those things will add without me feeling like I have to add more top line expenses. They're bolt-ons. Also, if I want to sell, the bolt-ons will make the EBITDA higher. So that's where I was just like, hey man, like, if you just run this and I focus on things that are beneficial to bolt on, then it's going to make more money. But okay. Yeah, dude, you have to drive it to a specific results-driven promise. Like, if you just go to people and say, hey, like, if you're a CEO, I'm going to help you exit without exiting, it's too, like, it just sounds, like, boring. You need to say instead, hey, if you're a CEO, I'm going to help you exit so that you can increase your margins by 20% within the next 12 months. And if you don't exit, I'll give you X amount of money back, or something like that that's sexy. Now you'll have people's interest. And I'll hire the people for you. I'll build the SOPs for you. I will, do the training for you. I'll build your training platform. Like, whatever the hell you're doing for them, you tell them all the things you're doing for them. And then you would also say, like, hey, listen, if you're wondering, how has this worked for other people? here's Jim, and Jim runs a software company, and Jim was bottlenecked in doing client relations and this, and director of marketing, and all this shit. And within 14 months, his revenue went from $4 million a year to 5.8, and he kept 10% more profits. And here's what Jim had to say. And then a video of Jim plays, and then like you keep doing the next case study loop. Next case study loop. And you're like, hey, listen, I can only take on 3 CEOs every month, so make sure you click the link below and see if you qualify. And that's basically how I would break down like a good ad for it. And then the landing page, see, that's tough. The landing page has to be, I would rather have them watch a video. Because if they just have like a lander with text and testimonials, yeah, it's cool, but like a video talking to CEOs is going to convert higher, even though your ad costs will be higher. Correct. So like, it's going to pertain to them more. Or you can run a low ticket funnel and be like, yo, here's the SOPs to replace the CEO. Like replace CEO SOPs, and you can sell it for like $27, $17. And then you get all these people to buy it, and then you just fucking call them and sell them more shit. Like that's, dude, that's a huge arbitrage that I'm doing right now. Like, what do you call it? Ryan Pineda, we're running he runs a whole 30K and then a 60K partner program for people who want to do more wholesale deals. And he's like, Wojo, like, how do we scale this? I'm like, bro, just sell a fucking $17 low ticket, and then you upsell them the annual membership, right, for the CRM to host the leads, and then you call them and you sell them. And he was like, huh. And then, dude, we set up the funnel. I just launched 4 days ago, and like he's already over break even on the low ticket. So he's paying, people are paying to be his lead. So like he runs, it's 17 and then an order bump and then a $9.97 annual subscription. And dude, people are buying a $9.97 through the damn funnel, which I fucking don't understand because that's the first time that's ever happened.
Well, you did that.
Yeah, I did that, but I've just never pushed a $9.97 in a low ticket funnel. To go from $17 to $9.97, it's very difficult. Yeah. So I was like, all right, like let's fucking try it, and it worked. And I was like,
so you've obviously been very successful. Congratulations on your success. And this show is all about success. So to what do you attribute your success? What's the one key? If you had to narrow it all down to one thing, Jason Wojo is successful because of this one thing, what would you say it is?
One thing. I think, honestly, I'm just willing to spend more money than other people. I know that sounds so, like, vague, but I think that's just, like, a superpower.
You know what I call that? It's persistence. You've said it early in our conversation that you are persistent. Like, you're going to follow up, you're going to do it. So spending money is a measurement of persistence.
Yeah, also, I combine that, though, with paying for things that don't have intrinsic value.
Right.
So, like, when people look at buying something, they always look for an ROI. They're always like, oh, like, I bought this thing, what's the ROI? And I'm like, dude, some things that you buy don't have a direct ROI correlation. So, like, you know, like this podcast, my assistant reached out for. And then also I have a podcast agency that reaches out for me for, like, other ones, too. And, dude, the guy came to me. He's like, yeah, dude, I can get you on 20 podcasts, and it's 30 grand. I was like, okay, 20 podcasts, 30 grand. I'm like, fuck it. All right. So then I pay him. And people are calling me still like, well, why would you do that? You already have Chelsea reaching out to people to do podcasts, like, and she's getting paid less than 30 grand a month, obviously, but like, you know, like you're paying for that. Like, why are you? Because, dude, it's faster. If I could have 2 people at the same time doing the same shit, I make more. So like, if I just have 2 of these things going together, dude, the ROI from podcasts is about networking. It's about being in people's circles. That's right, man. Like, dude, people don't realize that the things that, the reason why we move the way we move is because I just buy things that don't sit there and go, oh, yeah, like, you spent 3 grand, you got 4 back. I'm like, no, dude, you have to play the game at a higher level and just get more eyeballs on you. You got to stop thinking so small, and people are just so ridiculous.
So how do you define success? What does that mean to you?
To me, I think it's honestly, I just want to be looked at as a leader. I think that that's important to me. Like, success, yeah, dude, to have authority, you have to have money, and you have to have leadership skills, and you have to be able to sit there and say, do people listen to me? Would people follow me if the world was crumbling? And I think people would. Like, my team would. So it's like, I want people to look at me and be like, hey, dude, like, you're somebody that I take a lot of my values and refine them with yours. I take a lot of things from you about your action taking skills, and I like those, and I'm starting to swipe those, and like, you know, not everybody can swipe my personality because it's very fucking weird, but it's just like success to me is, dude, when the cards are all said and done, like, do people actually believe in me? Like, is what I did substantial enough to make people smile and be happy? Like, did I actually help people? I feel like that's more important. Like, dude, like, yeah, dude, money's cool. And you can't really have success without money. I can agree with that. Like, you can't sit there and be like, yeah, I made $4,000 a month my entire life, I'm successful. Like, dude, to be honest, you're not. It's just like, you have to be able to protect and provide for people too. So if you're like, if you are a leader in your business and you come home and you have a great family and there's not a lot of shit going on, your kids have good heads on their shoulders, they're starting to get married, they're having kids, you're all healthy, and you're that leader in other people's lives, like, dude, that's real success. Because you're winning inside the home and out, and that's where those two feed each other, and you're just consistently winning.
So by that definition, do you consider yourself to be successful?
Not yet, no, because I don't have a family, I don't have a wife. I mean, I feel like financially, yeah, being a leader, yeah, but then it's like spiritually and like intimacy-wise, no.
So I want to give you opportunity to speak directly to the listeners and give some advice today, because here you are, 26 years old, you got a significant net worth, you've got a team of 52 people, you're working with some of the top names on the internet right now, which you've mentioned a couple of those today. People want to know advice from people like you. They look at you as a leader, so I want you to look and tell the listeners, here's one thing they need to do to be successful.
Oh boy. One thing, you have to be open to change. Like, regardless of how old you are, maybe someone's 16 watching this, or 21 or 22, and they feel lost. Like, dude, everybody was lost. Like, you have to be open to change. You have to be open to people willing to give you a tip. The biggest thing I see from people who don't succeed is they're just so egotistical about their own beliefs and their childhood traumas that they don't think anything else matters or anything else can change. They're like, oh, well, my dad used to tell me this. I'm like, dude, your dad's poor. Like, stop listening to your dad. Or like, oh, well, this happened to my parents' marriage, so I should watch out for here. It's like, dude, those are two completely different people. Yes, you can intrinsically learn through other people's mistakes, but like, focus on this shit. Like, focus on your thing. Also, number two is, like, if you just tried, like, people would be more drawn to you if you just tried. Yeah. Like, one thing my mentor, Jason Capital, always said to me was like, dude, people are not stupid or lazy, they're distracted. And I was like,
it's interesting
and I was like, huh. And he's like, dude, like, people are not actually dumb. Like, they're just distracted from all the shit that they think they need to be doing, or the things that they think are important. Like politics. Like, I don't know everybody else stands on that, but that shit don't matter. Like, regardless of what happens to the world, dude, we're all fucked either way. So, it's like, dude, people put, and they did a whole study on this, like, people who go to rallies and they hold the signs up with the people's names, bro, they did a survey with 200,000 people, and just the way that they do voting, where you put your information and all that shit, some of these rallies, they'll, like, collect your info. They did it with 200,000 people. Out of those 200,000 people, 83% of them had the lowest income. They're in the lowest income bracket. So you want to sit there and you want to vote for other fucking people, you won't vote for yourself. Because it takes less effort to hold a sign. It takes more effort to grind and eat shit and actually make mistakes and learn from them and be excited about failure. Like, I just think, yeah, dude, I just think that people are so distracted. It's the phones, it's the instant gratification, it's the things that they think are important because their parents told them that it is. But if their parents aren't where they want to be, why the hell are you listening to them? And the third thing I would tell people is that if you don't, like, the way people buy is the way that they sell. So, like, if you are running a business or trying to grow and you don't buy stuff to invest in yourself, don't expect people to buy your shit. So it's like, if you're trying to sell a program but you won't buy other people's stuff, that's probably why no one's buying your stuff, because you don't know the value in investing in yourself from other people. Like, that's the reason why I buy from other people is because, dude, if I buy from other people, I can learn. Like, hey, like, your program was good, or this thing was good. I took this one tad bit from it, and it made it successful. Or this one thing was good, and my team's using it, and we're getting X result. Like, there's always one thing you can take from other people. It's not about, oh, was the whole thing an ROI? Like, no, you're an idiot, okay? It's not about just getting a direct ROI. It's about taking one thing that you can run with. And, dude, number four is like, you're never going to get anywhere unless you actually realize that, like, you are more, like, unbeatable than you think. Like, people really are under this impression that rich people own the world and there's not enough money for us, or whatever their bullshit excuse is. Like, no one's listening to you. Like, no one cares. Like, money doesn't care about your emotions. Success doesn't care about your emotions. Like, start really diving into, like, what are you good at? What do you do with the least amount of, like, effort that gets you the most amount of results? What makes you a little happy? And, dude, like, focus and just get drilled in on one thing. And that goes back to the distraction piece, which is, like, just do one thing really, really well, and you'll never worry about money again. The problem is that someone does something, they do one thing, and then they get distracted, and they're on, like, they'll get into affiliate marketing, and now all of a sudden they own an Amazon store, and the next week they run a fucking marketing agency, and then the next week they're a dating coach, and then the next week they're a life coach. I'm like, dude, just pick something. And I just think that people are lost, dude.
Distraction is bad. Distraction
It's terrible.
is bad. Well, let's finish out. I want to give you the opportunity to talk about your events that you're doing. Would you tell everybody about that?
Yeah. So right now we are on the third event. We're going till the end of June. So it's 22 weeks in a row. This week is West Palm Beach, then Jacksonville, then Atlanta, and then we have Austin, Texas, Dallas, Texas, New York City, and then we go around the loop again. So Tampa, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm, and we go up the thing again. We do a loop. So it's 22 straight events. We're just trying to change the ad space. Like, no one in my space has done this. Whenever, to add to your last question, number 5 is do things that people tell you not to do. Everybody told me not to run free events. They told me that people should pay to come to an event and they should pay to get a ticket because they're not going to be a qualified buyer. False. You just suck at sales. You need a layup from people to buy a ticket so that you can sell them. I get 100 people in the room and I still make $300 grand a weekend. It's not about the event being free. It's about you suck. That's it. So, like, that would be number 5. But the events are there to help business owners get a good glimpse of, like, what they actually need to know in their business and ask custom questions. I answer everybody's questions. I don't just say, oh, you're in the front row and you paid for VIP. I only answer your questions. Like, dude, I'm not going to dangle a carrot in people's face. So you come to the event, you soak up information for 2 days. You do get the chance to work with us. We don't hard pitch you. We pitch for maybe 45 minutes during both days. It's not that intense. And then, you know, from there, dude, we're just trying to get more content. Also, all the people that are at the events, they go on their story and share me on there. It's free reach. That's another way that we tripled our Instagram views in the last 30 days alone. It's just all the events, dude. If you take 100 people, and let's say each one of them, on average, like, some people in the room will have 100,000 followers, 50,000. Some people have 1,000. Like, dude, I could get an extra 300,000 people to see my eyeballs 2 days in a row. You came for free. Little do you realize that I'm actually getting a fucking massive ROI from just reach. And people don't see that. Also, what I'm doing is I'm building my email list faster. Every single sign up that we get is like $8 on ads. So $8, yeah, 1/5 of them actually show up because it's free. But, like, we get, let's say, the Miami one. We had 112 in the room. I got 700 people to sign up for that. People would say, oh, that's not good. Yes, it is. I have 590 people now that I can email that can buy shit from us. You're just looking at.
So how do people get to these events?
Yeah, they can go to www.scaleyouradsevents.com/whatever city. So Tampa, Fort Lauderdale, Tampa, Atlanta, like whatever the city is.
So scaleyourads.com.
ScaleYourAdsEvents.
ScaleYourAdsEvents.com. Make sure you go check it out. He's at the Jason Wojo on Instagram. That's WOJO, the Jason Wojo on Instagram.com. Jason, it's been a pleasure having this conversation with you. Congratulations, man. At 26 years old, I was not figuring it out the way you're figuring it out. So congrats, man. I'm proud of you. I'm happy that you're experiencing success. And I'm going to be looking forward to seeing over the next decade, as you do get a wife and kids and things, that other side of the leadership success paradigm, how that's going to play out for you. Okay. I'm going to give you the last word on the show today, man. Anything you want to say to close us out?
I mean, dude, I appreciate you having me and setting this all up. This is a really cool setting. And yeah, dude, just like cheers to a long relationship and always staying in touch. And dude, man, we're going to crush it together.
Thanks, man. Well, thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't watched this on YouTube, make sure you go to the Real Jason Duncan on YouTube. There is a podcast channel right there on my channel, a playlist. You can watch these podcasts. This was an in-person here at Smokers Abbey in Gallatin, Tennessee. Again, big thanks to Joshua Stump and his team for letting us come here and shoot it. I want to make sure that you tune in again next time because I'm going to have another live in-person recording next. So our next release is going to be another live. So you want to make sure that you watch these, tune in, follow Jason. Go follow the Jason Wojo on Instagram. Big thanks to him and his team for being able to put this together so that he can come in. As always, I am the Real Jason Duncan, and Jesus is King.
Attention business owners. Attention business owners. Feeling burnout from running your business? Uncertain if you're nearing burnout? Take our free 10-question business burnout test at businessburnouttest.com to discover where you stand. With just 10 quick questions, you'll learn how to immediately begin making changes to regain freedom and success. Cut your daily operations time in half. Improve your quality of life and prepare your business for your future exit without losing revenue or profit. Visit businessburnouttest.com now and take the test. Thank you for listening to another edition of The Root of All Success with the Real Jason Duncan. If you've enjoyed this week's episode, visit therootofallsuccess.com to access the show notes and other helpful resources. Follow Jason on social media at The Real Jason Duncan. See you again next time here on The Root of All Success.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.